Copay and deductibles may apply. Call 800-513-0162. That's 800-513-0162. Medcare Diabetic at 800-513-0162.
Everybody's talking at me.
My guest, Dr. Jerry Corsi, WorldNet Daily, Red Alert newsletter, and summing this up here, they say that one of the people you talked to, Daniels, says that, let's see, the first occurrence of Obama's association with the number he's using was in 1986 in Chicago. So if it's a mistake, it seems like he would have noticed it beforehand, or by now, don't you think, Jerry?
Well, I sure would have thought so. I mean, the idea, this whole thing with the Social Security number makes no sense at all. Yep. Barack Obama should have had a Hawaii-issued Social Security number, so he applied for in Hawaii. When he first started working, when he was a teenager at that ice cream shop in Hawaii, he ends up with a Social Security number 042 that's issued to an applicant in Connecticut in 1977. Then it turns out to look like it's associated with another person who may have been issued the card first. This demands an explanation because it certainly meets the classic pattern of identity theft. And what's the occupant of the White House doing engaging in identity theft? It makes no sense at all.
At all. And wait until he tries to check in on that fabulous health care plan. Boy, there's a can of worms. They're going to say, you are not qualified. You're not that guy. So now then, only a couple minutes.
He'd have to have, he may actually have to have some documentation to get medical care or Obamacare.
Now then, Jerry, just
documentation.
We only have a minute or two left, and I want to know what in the world is abiotic oil on this story you did. Explain that, would you please?
Well, abiotic oil is not dinosaur soup. It's not biologically created. It's created in the mantle of the earth on an ongoing basis and is abundant. And what I've been writing about is one of the things proved by this oil rig that blew in the Gulf is that we're dealing with very, very deep oil, miles down under the surface of the earth, pressures that are more attuned to the mantle of the earth. And, where were the dinosaurs or the plankton or the biological material that created all this oil 5 miles below the surface of the earth and going down into the Gulf? I think it should make it very clear that this well and others like it in the deep water drilling are confirming the theory of abiotic oil, which I've been writing about ever since I co-authored Black Gold Stranglehold with Craig Smith of Swiss America.
Boy, I'll tell you, it just keeps going on and on and on, and every day, when I go to WorldNet Daily and I see all these things you're coming up with, I'm wondering, how many computers do you have, and how do you keep track of all this stuff? Hey, Jerry, if the listeners, because it's Red Alert newsletter, what's the latest report on that? That's the one where they can sign up and pay a fee to get. What are you reporting on Red Alert right now?
I've been a lot of stories in Red Alert right now. I've been writing at great length about the Arizona law and how this is really the beginning of a states' rights revolution. I've been writing about Greece and how I think the EU is likely going to break up over the debt crisis. I don't think Germany and France are going to stay with the euro long term if these problems with Greece, Spain, Italy, Portugal continue. And I think the debt problems are going to sweep the Western world. The United States is headed for the same kind of problems Greece had. I don't see us long-term sustaining these debts without massive social consequences.
Well, and he doesn't need to be bailing out Greece, that's for sure. Why didn't he bail out L.A. or something? Hey, Jerry, we're all out of time. Go ahead.
I was going to say, borrowing money from China to bail out Greece doesn't seem like a good strategy for the Obama White House.
Boy, I'll tell you. Hey, listen, I appreciate it again, Dr. Jerry Corsi. Thank you very much for coming on the show.
Always a great pleasure and honor to be with you. Thank you, Chuck.
Thank you, sir. Jerry Corsi, WorldNet Daily. Hey, coming up next, Alan Gottlieb, Chairman of Citizens Committee for the Right to Keep and Bear Your Arms. Short sleeves. No, we're talking about guns. And Derek Steele, he was an addict at the age of 10. His first beer, About 8 years old. Boy, what a life.
Saving money is all the rage these days. Kind of the in thing to do, like growing a beard. Well, here's a tip for you. You could save hundreds on your car insurance by switching to Geico. And then you could look all fancy with your beard and brag. Look at me! Look all the money I saved with Geico. You don't even have to mention me. Although, for the record, I've been talking about saving money long before it was ever cool. Now, if only I could grow a beard.
For a free rate quote, visit geico.com or call 1-800-947-AUTO. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
When you're approaching an intersection, the yellow light means